So let's talk about new mechanics that were added in this update, guys. Let's talk about all the things that I think it's not properly like just new vehicles, but stuff that really make the game different in another way with a new type of gameplay or whatever, right? So before we get into it, if you want to help the channel, we are having a goal of donations if you want to help. Of course, that basically the objective is to upgrade my PC to improve the quality of the channel, right? So I'm having some troubles with FPS sometimes and stuff, you know, it's kind of a joke and stuff, but yeah, we're gonna try to do that. If you want to help, link is in the description. I might need to update other things, just not just my GPU, but we started the GPU with a goal, right? So yeah, let's get going. The first one, something that let's get out these things get out of the way, right? So we're gonna talk about multi-vehicle capability. Now we have apparently 3 vehicles, if I'm not mistaken, that have multi-vehicle capability with AA systems that you can, you know, basically play with, you know, different vehicles to do different stuff. They are a little bit bugged. They work in progress, of course, always remember that. But new AA systems like the Type 81 here, like the Slam RAM and the Iris TSLM will be added in the next update as new AA systems for us to actually use in top tier, which is pretty cool, isn't it? So yeah, this is the first mechanic. It's the most interesting one, of course. A lot of people were talking about it, and yeah, basically that's it, right? So let's try to go to the next one. Now, 2 things I'm gonna show with the helicopters, but yeah, you have a mode to basically maintain or try to maintain the amount of row you have with a helicopter. Down there you can see artificial horizon there, that it's basically a button that you would click. For me it's B over here, and it would basically control or maintain or stabilize the row that you have with the aircraft. So for example, if I put it in kind of a left row over here, it would maintain a left row and it will maintain. I'm clicking and releasing the button and it was trying to maintain that same level of row, okay? So it's a little bit of a better situation for you to control the aircraft in a way without having to use the hover mode or anything like that, right? It can be used to do certain maneuvers, like being basically stationary, for example, and rolling to the side, maybe to avoid missiles or whatever, you know, gunfire. So that's pretty interesting, isn't it? Another thing, as you can see right there on the bottom of the screen there, you have now more help with the buttons there. So for example, all the buttons that I can click there, and for some reason it's not working for me, but you can click with the mouse, if I'm not mistaken, as well. You're gonna be able to choose some things, like for example, I forgot what the button to hover is. Oh, there it is, X. So I click it and it will do that, right? I forgot the button to, you know, change it up some of the stuff, right? For example, here. So it's that button there. You know, the opening of the bomb bays and stuff. So it's just an enormous amount of stuff there. The gear, you know, that will be just appearing there on the bottom of the screen to help you, player, not basically forget what the buttons are, because there are so many buttons. It's basically trying to help you not forget the so many buttons that we have. Of course, I gotta say before we get into it, continue with it, that I might miss some of them, okay? Just bear that in mind. And continuing, we have another update on the Afterburner effect. So for example, here in the F-18, you can see. So the major thing, the main thing here is the flames. You can see that there are basically different flames and they are kind of asymmetrical and they're shaking and stuff, and that makes it up to be a much more realistic, especially when turning it on and off. I mean, look at that Afterburner, right? It looks really like an Afterburner, especially of course if you're looking from further away, you know, like this. It just looks way better than what it was. Maybe not perfect, but it is way better. So it's a very, very good thing that they actually added here. Now we also have, of course, not only the new mechanic there, or the new, you know, model of the Afterburner, but we also have the dumping of fuel ability, the mechanic to dump fuel. Of course, I had to use the F111, right? And yeah, you will have a button. You can find it by just going to the controls and basically click dump fuel, right? You put a button that you want. I don't think it has a standard one. And once you click it, it will... dumping fuel is unavailable? What do you mean? What do you mean? Hold up. So there you go. Dumping fuel. Let me stop dumping fuel. So dumping fuel, as you see. And as you can see on the... like on the fuel thing there, it is consuming a lot of the fuel a lot quicker, you know. So it will make sure that you dump as much fuel you want. You can click again, click on and off, you know, it will just dump the fuel. If you turn it on, the Afterburner, it starts burning that fuel as well. So it does that incredible effect. You can even turn it off, the Afterburner, and it will still continue to burn. This will create its own heat signature, and you can get killed because of this, or use as a flare or something. So for example, if it is in a head-on, it would probably not be advised to do this, because then of course the like the 9B will see this thing and it will go in a head-on aspect kind of shot, right? Even if I dump flares, it probably won't go to the flares. But if it is, you know, a rear aspect shot, maybe it will make you have kind of an ongoing flare behind you, right? Which might help. So it is very interesting. Of course, remember, you are losing a lot of fuel, so you gotta be careful. You cannot do this forever, but it's not like a lot, you know, it's something. As you can see, each minute wastes like, I don't know, in 10 seconds or something, so it is a lot of fuel, but it's not like it's gonna run out so fast that you're gonna have minutes before it ran out, right? Especially with the Afterburner. So it is pretty interesting to have that. I need to be in a very low speed. Okay, fuel dumping is unavailable, speed is too high. This is going to be interesting to see in the beginning of a match. So yeah, very, very interesting and real life, you know, thing that you can use on the F111. I don't know how many aircraft have this. I would have to test, but I know there are more than just the F111 that have this, at least in real life. So yeah, very cool, right? We now have some new roundos. Okay, we can go here, I think. Let me go actually here. We can go to here, decals, and we will have some roundos over here. For example, a new one for the Brazilian Air Force during the Cold War. It's not our modern one, I don't think, but it is like from the Cold War. We normally use this one. This was for World War II, of course. And there are others, okay? I just remember the Brazilian one because I'm Brazilian, but there are others out there, so you can check it out. I think the list is in... I will put the list in the description with the changelog, okay? But there are better and other, you know, new decals there. Also, another thing is that they added a bad weather, sorry, kind of filter. So how this works is, let's get to a match over here. And I'm gonna use the B-57 because the B-57 has an air spawn, but I put it a storm at night, so it would technically be dangerous sometimes, depending on the map, for you to actually spawn in the air, because there is a storm around or something and you might crash spawning in. So once that happens, when there is a bad weather and you can crash and everything, the auto mode of respawns or for spawns, right, will be on the airfield. So the auto mode is on airfield. If you want to, you can click here and really spawn in flying high, but there will be this little icon of a, you know, bad weather kind of white icon over here, and it will say bad weather. Takeoff from an airfield is recommended, right? And the auto mode will automatically choose the airfield. So small little thing, but it is very interesting to help you not crash when you are, you know, spawning into a match, depending on the match that it is, right? So yeah, very cool. They improved many little things. We are here with the T-72, the new one. And for example, the graphics that work on that, and I mean, look at these frames that I'm 30 FPS. Yeah, basically the animation there for you to explode a tank with the APF STS and stuff is improved. There are many other ones like bombs and ship sinkings and stuff, so you can check it out on the changelog and test it out for your, you know, on purpose, because there's so many and hidden stuff as well. But yeah, basically the you know, the way that some effects of explosions and stuff basically got better than what they were, okay? Another thing that they added, and the last thing that I'm gonna show, there are more, but the last thing that I'm gonna show is that they changed the way that you see statistics. We are here in a custom battle, for example, and for example, if I pass the mouse over the you know, the player over here, it will, or the target, right, it will appear some things, like for example here, the stat card of the aircraft, you know, so you can see here the missiles that I normally use and stuff, the performance, what aircraft it is, you know. So for example here, IRIS-T imaging in progress, of course, Su-34. You can see the like the profile picture of them all, you know, of course, if they are in the game. Other side as well, of course, you cannot see anything like the enemy's aircraft, of course, right? But for example, mission score and some other things like what he did and stuff, it's more detailed and a little bit better. For example, I can see here that, for example, this player over here had mission score, you know, how many of score he did and stuff. So it's pretty good, how many severe damages and everything. So it is pretty interesting, I think, and it does help a little bit of situational awareness of what you are facing against sometimes, you know. If you want to see if the player is good, you can maybe go here and stuff. I think this will be even more improved. I hope there's more information here, but you know, it's very cool. Very cool. So these are it. Don't want to show too many things. I don't want the video to be too long, of course. But yeah, this is it. There are other things, of course, but these are the main ones that I found. I see you guys on the next one. Make sure to subscribe, leave a like, leave a comment. And of course, if you want to help the channel, PayPal is in the description, okay? See you guys. Bye.